Hello everyone. Question is you need to capture the required information for the sales department computers to meet the technical requirements. Which Windows PowerShell command should you run first? Option A install module Windows Autopilot Intune. Option B install script get Windows Autopilot Info. Option C import Autopilot CSV. Option D get Windows Autopilot Info. Correct answer is option B. Question is you need to resolve the performance issues in the Los Angeles office. How should you configure the update settings? To answer, select the appropriate options in the answer area. Please see this section. And this is the correct answer. Question is what should you configure to meet the technical requirements for the Azure AD joint computers? Option A Windows Hello for Business from the Microsoft Intune Blade in the Azure portal. Option B The accounts options in an endpoint protection profile. Option C The password policy settings in a group policy object GPO. Option D A password policy from the Microsoft Office 365 portal. Correct answer is option A. Question is you need to meet the OOBE requirements for Windows Autopilot. Which two settings should you configure from the Azure Active Directory blade? To answer, select the appropriate settings in the answer area. Please see this section. And this is the correct answer. Question is what should you use to meet the technical requirements for the Azure DevOps? Option A an app protection policy. Option B Windows Information Protection WIP. Option C conditional access. Option D a device configuration profile. Correct answer is option C. Question is what should you upgrade before you can configure the environment to support co-management? Option A the domain functional level. Option B configuration manager. Option C the domain controllers. Option D Windows Server Update Services WSUS. Correct answer is option B. Question is you have devices enrolled in Microsoft Intune as shown in the following table. On which devices can you apply app configuration policies? Option A device 2 only. Option B device 1 and device 2 only. Option C device 3 and device 4 only. Option D device 2, device 3 and device 4 only. Option E device 1, device 2, device 3 and device 4. Correct answer is option D. Question is you have a Microsoft 365 subscription that uses Microsoft Intune suite. You use Microsoft Intune to manage devices. You plan to deploy two apps named App 1 and App 2 to all Windows devices. App 1 must be installed before App 2. From the Intune Admin Center, you create and deploy two Windows app Win32 apps. You need to ensure that App 1 is installed before App 2 on every device. What should you configure? Option A, the App 1 deployment configurations. Option B, a dynamic device group. Option C, a detection rule. Option D, the App 2 deployment configurations. Correct answer is option D. Question is you have a Microsoft 365 E5 subscription that contains a user named User1 and a web app named App1. App1 must only accept modern authentication requests. You plan to create a conditional access policy named CA Policy 1 that will have the following settings. Assignments, users or workload identities. User 1, a cloud apps or actions. App 1 access controls. Grant, block access. You need to block only legacy authentication requests to App 1. Which conditions should you add to CA Policy 1? Option A, filter for devices. Option B, device platforms. Option C, user risk. Option D, sign-in risk. Option E, client apps. Correct answer is option E. Question is your company has devices enrolled in Microsoft Intune as shown in the following table. In Microsoft Endpoint Manager, you define the company's network as a location named Location 1. Which devices can use network location-based compliance policies? Option A, device 2 and device 3 only. Option B, device 2 only. Option C, device 1 and device 2 only. Option D, device 1 only. Option E, device 1, device 2 and device 3. Correct answer is option E. Question is you have a Microsoft 365 subscription. You have 10 computers that run Windows 10 and are enrolled in Mobile Device Management MDM. You need to deploy the Microsoft 365 apps for Enterprise Suite to all the computers. What should you do? Option A, from the Microsoft Intune Admin Center, create a Windows 10 device profile. Option B, from Azure AD, add an app registration. Option C, from Azure AD, add an enterprise application. Option D, from the Microsoft Intune Admin Center, add an app. Correct answer is option D. Question is you have a Microsoft 365 subscription that uses Microsoft Intune suite. You use Microsoft Intune to manage devices. You have a Windows 11 device named Device 1 that is enrolled in Intune. Device 1 has been offline for 30 days. You need to remove Device 1 from Intune immediately. The solution must ensure that if the device checks in again, any apps and data provisioned by Intune are removed. User installed apps, personal data, and OEM installed apps must be retained. What should you use? Option A, a delete action. Option B, a retire action. Option C, a fresh start action. Option D, an autopilot reset action. Correct answer is option B. To find the complete list of questions and answers, please go to the playlist link provided in the description. If you like this content, please like and subscribe. In case of any query, please reach out to guruforcertification@gmail.com. Question is, you have a Microsoft 365 E5 subscription. You create a new update rings policy named Policy 1 as shown in the following exhibit. Use the drop-down menus to select the answer choice that completes each statement based on the information presented in the graphic. Please see this section. Question is, you have a Microsoft 365 E5 subscription that contains 500 Mac OS devices enrolled in Microsoft Intune. You need to ensure that you can apply Microsoft Defender for Endpoint antivirus policies to the Mac OS devices. The solution must minimize administrative effort. What should you do? Option A, onboard the Mac OS devices to the Microsoft Purview Compliance Portal. Option B, from the Microsoft Intune Admin Center, create a security baseline. Option C, install Defender for Endpoint on the Mac OS devices. Option D, from the Microsoft Intune Admin Center, create a configuration profile. Correct answer is option C. Question is, you have an Azure AD group named Group 1. Group 1 contains two Windows 10 enterprise devices named Device 1 and Device 2. You create a device configuration profile named Profile 1. You assign Profile 1 to Group 1. You need to ensure that Profile 1 applies to Device 1 only. What should you modify in Profile 1? Option A, assignments. Option B, settings. Option C, scope tags. Option D, applicability rules. Correct answer is option D. Question is, you have 100 computers that run Windows 10 and connect to an Azure Log Analytics workspace. Which three types of data can you collect from the computers by using Log Analytics? Option A, error events from the system log. Option B, failure events from the security log. Option C, third-party application logs stored as text files. Option D, the list of processes and their execution time. Option E, the average processor utilization. Correct answer is option A, C and option E. Question is you have 100 Windows 10 devices enrolled in Microsoft Intune. You need to configure the devices to retrieve Windows updates from the internet and from other computers on a local network. Which delivery optimization settings should you configure? And which type of Intune object should you create? To answer, select the appropriate options in the answer area. Please see this section. Question is you have an Azure Active Directory Azure AD tenant that contains the users shown in the following table. You have devices enrolled in Microsoft Intune as shown in the following table. From Intune, you create and send a custom notification named Notification1 to Group 1. For each of the following statements, select Yes if the statement is true. Otherwise, select No. First statement is User 1 receives Notification 1 on device 1. Options are Yes or No. Second statement is User 2 receives Notification 1 on device 2. Options are Yes or No. Third statement is User 1 receives Notification 1 on device 3. Options are Yes or No. Correct answer for the first statement is No. Correct answer for the second statement is also No. Correct answer for the third statement is Yes. Question is you have a Microsoft 365 E5 subscription and 25 Apple iPads. You need to enroll the iPads in Microsoft Intune by using the Apple Configurator enrollment method. What should you do first? Option A. Upload a file that has the device identifiers for each iPad. Option B. Modify the enrollment restrictions. Option C. Configure an Apple MDM push certificate. Option D. Add your user account as a Device Enrollment Manager DEM. Correct answer is option C. Question is you have 100 computers that run Windows 10. You have no servers. All the computers are joined to Microsoft Azure Active Directory Azure AD. The computers have different update settings and some computers are configured for manual updates. You need to configure Windows Update. The solution must meet the following requirements. The configuration must be managed from a central location. Internet traffic must be minimized. Cost must be minimized. How should you configure Windows Update? To answer, select the appropriate options in the answer area. Please see this section. Question is you have a Microsoft 365 E5 subscription that contains 150 hybrid Azure AD joined Windows devices. All the devices are enrolled in Microsoft Intune. You need to configure delivery optimization on the devices to meet the following requirements. Allow downloads from the internet and from other computers on the local network. Limit the percentage of used bandwidth to 50. What should you use? Option A, a configuration profile. Option B, a Windows update for business group policy setting. Option C, a Microsoft peer-to-peer networking services group policy setting. Option D, an update ring for Windows 10 and later profile. Correct answer is option A. Question is drag and drop. You have a Microsoft 365 subscription. The subscription contains computers that run Windows 11 and are enrolled in Microsoft Intune. You need to create a compliance policy that meets the following requirements. Requires BitLocker drive encryption. BitLocker on each device requires a minimum operating system version. Which setting of the compliance policy should you configure for each requirement? To answer, drag the appropriate settings to the correct requirements. Each setting may be used once, more than once, or not at all. You may need to drag the split bar between panes or scroll to view the content. Please see this section. And this is the correct answer. Question is drag and drop. You have a Microsoft 365 subscription that contains 1000 Windows 11 devices enrolled in Microsoft Intune. You plan to create and monitor the results of a compliance policy used to validate the BIOS version of the devices. Which four actions should you perform in sequence? To answer, move the appropriate actions from the list of actions to the answer area and arrange them in the correct order. Please see this section. And this is the correct answer. Question is, you have a computer named Computer 1 that runs Windows 10. You need to configure User Account Control UAC to prompt administrators for their credentials. Which settings should you modify? Option A, Administrators Properties in Local Users and Groups. Option B, User Account Control Settings in Control Panel. Option C, Security Options in Local Group Policy Editor. Option D, User Rights Assignment in Local Group Policy Editor. Correct answer is option C. Question is, you have an Azure AD tenant named contoso.com that contains the users shown in the following table. You have a computer named Computer 1 that runs Windows 10. Computer 1 is in a work group and has the local users shown in the following table. User A joins Computer 1 to Azure AD by using user1@contoso.com. For each of the following statements, select yes if the statement is true. Otherwise, select no. First statement is user1@contoso.com is a member of the local administrators group on Computer 1. Options are yes or no. Second statement is admin1@contoso.com can configure the firewall and Microsoft Defender on Computer 1. Options are yes or no. Third statement is admin2@contoso.com can install software on Computer 1. Options are yes or no. Correct answer for the first statement is no. Correct answer for the second statement is no. Correct answer for the third statement is also no. Question is, you have a Microsoft 365 subscription that uses Microsoft Intune suite. You use Microsoft Intune to manage devices. Azure AD joined Windows devices enroll automatically in Intune. You have the devices shown in the following table. You are preparing to upgrade the devices to Windows 11. All the devices are compatible with Windows 11. You need to evaluate Windows Autopilot and in place upgrade as deployment methods to implement Windows 11 Pro on the devices, while retaining all user settings and applications. Which devices can be upgraded by using each method? To answer, select the appropriate options in the answer area. Please see this section. And this is the correct answer. In case of any query, please reach out to guruforcertification@gmail.com. Thank you.